Welcome to the channel, everyone. I'm Skratch. Hope you guys are having an amazing day. Currently, I am on the test server, guys. We're gonna have a look at the new fusion champion, and we're gonna see what exactly we can do with this champion. Is it worth it for your account, or is not? Basically, the main advice that I'm giving you guys all the time, we have tons of fusions every single year, right? It's very important to be able to handpick the champions that will actually benefit your account. You don't need to go for all of the champions. Not all of the champions are a must-do. For my account, as an example, I will like this champion for two simple reasons. One, for arena and basically being able to melt the stone skin through block damage. Two, I'm gonna speed up my Scarab farming team, basically. Him and Euro Soul Cage should be able to save me a minute and a half per run. Other than that, if we're comparing him with Theodore or with different champions that we currently have in the game that are basically detonating the HP, he's not really going to perform better than them in most of the content. Now, he does have a few amazing champions that pair very well with him. One of them being, of course, the Faction Unity champion, super hard to get. I personally don't have him, but both of them, they will increase the duration of poisons and HP burn. This one right here will place poisons and HP burn, and then we have, of course, the rest of the skills. But them two together, they just go hand in hand. They're gonna pair really well, right? You can, of course, pair him with the Gizmak. You can pair him with other HP burn champions. But in today's video, guys, I'm gonna show you what exactly we can do with this champion. Where exactly can we use him, and what sort of value we can gain from him. Now, I chose to give him a pretty random build. He's in regeneration and perception, mainly because like this I'm going to be able to pretty much showcase him in all of the areas, including of course the Doom Tower, the Dragon, the Spider. For arena, I'm going to have to make him much faster just to basically put him up to a test, right? So with A1, attacks one enemy 2 times, has a chance to increase the duration of all poisons and HP burn debuffs on the target. With A2, AoE attack attacks all enemies 2 times. The first hit will instantly activate poisons and HP burn, and the continuous heal buffs on your champions. So if you have tons of continuous heals on your champions, he will instantly basically heal all of your team, which is actually really helpful for some specific content. And he can pair very nice with is her name Sina from the Dwarves, the Void legendary. That's the Reviver, right? I think that's her name, right? Something like that. So the turn meter from this skill will be very nice as well. 20% turn meter, definitely pretty solid. This will allow you to make a pretty interesting team for the siege mode as well, guys. Then you have the A3. To be honest, I wish he would place HP burn with this skill as well. If he would place the HP burn as well, will make the champion much better overall. Attacks all enemies, has a chance to land poisons on all enemies. If the targets are under HP burn, he will place 3 poisons instead of 2 and a weaken. Then he will place 2 continuous heal buffs on all allies for 2 turns. Basically, that's the whole magic in his kit. Then the passive, one of the most important parts for me is the very first one right here. The damage inflicted by poison and HP burn debuffs will ignore block damage and unkillable buffs. So I'm actually a fan of this part of the passive. Then, whenever allies attack enemies with destroyed max HP, increases the damage dealt by 10%. Now, this won't be the case versus the Hydra clan boss, as an example. It won't be the case in the clan boss. I'm not sure how he's going to perform versus the new boss, guys, right? The new clan boss. Just keeping in mind that the poisons are basically stacked at 20k per poison, if I'm not mistaken. The HP burn, I think, was 40k or something like that. So keeping that in mind, we're not really going to get tons and tons of damage from this champion. But he can turn up to be a pretty solid champion for that particular content. We're going to have to wait for the new clan boss and see. Then we have a speed aura for all battles by 20%. So if you have a Theodore, maybe you need another champion to pair him with Theodore to speed up your spider run. If you don't have Artek, if you don't have Theodore, is actually going to be really solid for your account as a progression champion as well, just because he can activate the burn. He's going to be a powerhouse in the spider dungeon while you're progressing through the game. He's not the most OP fusion champion, But as I mentioned, I do think that he is going to be meta changing for Arena just because of this block damage. And I'm going to show you exactly how it works. Now, we do have, of course, different options on how we can get rid of that block damage from Marichka. So it won't necessarily be like, oh my god, if you're not getting this champion, you're not going to be able to deal with that, because you can use an Armance or you can use different champions to kind of like assist you in there. But just kind of like food for thoughts, guys. So total stats on him on this build, we have the following stats. Basically, it's just survivability, some speed, accuracy, and the resistance is mainly for the Scarab King to ensure that he's not stealing our continuous heals, right? Because we don't want him to constantly heal back. I have a bit of an overkill on accuracy, to be honest. You don't really need that much accuracy for most of the content in the game. 257 speed, guys. So we're going to start with, most likely we're going to go to the Scarab King. Masteries, that's what we have right here, offense and support. We have War Master as tier 6, Master Hexer, and we have Lasting Gifts, guys. You can go with defense and support, but honestly, I feel like Master Hexer is going to work just fine, especially that we have so much accuracy on the champion. Now, as a blessing, I actually have Incinerate for PvP. This will not help you at all in PvE, unfortunately. Now, in the future, this blessing will work in the siege modes. That's something that Plarium is actually planning to change. You can go, of course, with a Cruelty on him. A Brimstone can work on him as well for PvE content. You have a few different options in terms of blessings. But let's head over to the Doom Tower. So we're going to use this team, guys. I'm usually running Euros with Itos. Itos is there just to clear the waves, basically. You could bring in 2-3 damage dealers just to speed up the process on farming the waves. The only thing is you might encounter problems once you're getting at the boss, because he's going to attack a lot, right? When you're hitting him without a shield, it's going to be pretty annoying. But we're going to see if he can actually speed up our run, guys. We do need resistance on them just to ensure that the boss is not going to steal our continuous heal, which is pretty important. We don't want the boss to constantly heal, because it's just going to take us longer and longer to basically kill him. Now, one thing that's very good here is his ability to destroy the max HP on the boss. That's instantly going to break that shield once he starts detonating the HP burn. There you go. You see, it almost melted the shield directly. If we were having a few more poisons on, it was going to blow up the shield completely. Now, it's not really relevant because we have no other damage dealer, a raw damage dealer, to actually go and smack the boss. But slowly, we're just going to kill him with poisons, basically. You see, the shield is almost gone. And that's because he destroys the max HP. This is not something that will work on a lot of bosses, unfortunately. So getting that extra damage right on from the passive on the rest of your damage dealers is not going to be as effective as you might think, right? But what I really like about him as well is him blowing up all of your continuous heals, right? I think we have 1 or 2 different champions in the game that can do it. I can't really remember exactly who, but I feel like that's such a good thing, because you see him being super low on HP, and all of a sudden he's just blowing them up, right? And he's back at full HP, or your ally is back at full HP. So it seems like the boss stole one of our continuous heals right there. Naughty boss. One thing that I could do to make this faster a bit would be to basically make my champions slower, so they're not taking as many turns, right? Because right now they're taking quite a few turns. You see, he blew that HP burn, beautiful. That HP burn, sorry, the continuous heal. I'm thinking of HP burn because it would be amazing if he would have an HP burn on his A3. Absolutely fantastic, because not only we would farm this boss even faster, but it would be more effective to run him in the spider dungeon without having to count on a different champion to apply it before, right? So he would be kind of like a new type of a Sulfurian, but I guess they did not want it to make that, unfortunately. So yeah, 100%. The one main thing that I should change to make this faster, basically just make them slower. They're a bit too fast. They're taking too many turns, and because of it, the boss is not dying fast enough. But either way, it does seem to be a bit faster than my previous team, so still a good outcome, I would say. And it does matter a lot how many poisons is Eurost applying, right? What's the RNG from that side? Do not steal my continuous heal, boss. There we go. So a lot of turns, right? I'm pretty convinced that he can do it on his own. So we've seen what they can do, guys. This time that I've got right here, 2 minutes and 35 seconds, is actually with the same team. Most likely I had much better RNG on dropping poisons on the boss with Eurost, and we managed to melt the boss faster. 100% he can solo the Scarab as well without having Eurost. Most likely it's going to take you 4 or 5 minutes, and honestly, it's not going to be super progression friendly in terms of building him, because you need resistance to counter the boss from stealing your continuous heals. So I don't think he's necessarily the best solo champion for the Scarab King. Euros is definitely going to be the ultimate GOAT in here. You can pair them together to speed up the run, but on his own, he's not going to be very progression friendly, just because he's pretty hungry for stats, right? Then, if we are actually going to go over to the next content, let's go over to the spiders then, guys. So right here, we can use a team like this. If you don't have Theodore, you can use a different champion. This is a pretty solid team. It's one of the fastest teams in the entire game, and it's basically utilizing a champion that lands HP burn without being resisted, then using different champions to detonate the burn. So let me just quickly show you how this team would actually work. What I like about him here is that he has that 20% speed aura for all battles. The boss here has 250 speed, so it can be pretty annoying for some people to reach the speeds on all of the champions, right? There you go. Beautiful. We got 13 seconds, 5 turns. Pretty nice. Most of the damage went, of course, to Ignatius, to Newt, because he landed the HP burn, and you're just detonating and melting the boss. Now, you can pair him, of course, with other champions. We have Cisia that can detonate. We have as well a Sulfurian, which would make this even faster. 100% actually. If I would put Sulfurian instead of Ignatius, I could actually drop Theodore out of the team and run a 4-man team. And that should get the job done in 4 turns and most likely like 9 seconds or so. My current team for the Spider was this, but instead of having him, I was using Theodore. Acrisia is going to go last in the team here, and basically it's pretty much following the same principles. We have Nude going in with enemy max HP to drop the other 2 Spiderlings. You see the other 2 are dropping. Then we have Ignatius putting HP burn. We have Artek. We have somebody detonating, and then Acrisia wiping the rest, so we deal a lot of damage to the boss as well. But this is 15 seconds, so if I'm dropping Acrisia, I'm going to speed up my run. The thing is that now I actually have Sulfurian available on my account. I'm not planning to use him in the Spider team because he's way too fast for what I need him to do. But it's just basically another option. If we're gonna try him instead of Theodore in my Dragon team, guys, usually I'm running the exact same team, but with Theodore instead of him, just to detonate those poisons, and of course to put more poisons on the boss, right? It does help me to have Theodore or him, which is actually going to be a bit more helpful on the waves, because I'm gaining buffs. I'm going to gain 2 buffs from him rather than just 1 from Theodore, like I'm gaining from Theodore, sorry. And like this here is able to nuke the waves without a problem, even though she should be able to get the job done, right? Plus, if by any chance your damage dealer poisoners were struggling on here, with his continuous heals now, he can actually help you to keep the team alive, right? So it's all about basically healing and putting those poisons, detonating the poisons to basically kill this boss faster. 250 speed on the boss, if I'm not mistaken. So it will overlap you pretty fast if you're not careful, you see? Even with that secret skill on, because we're going back to full HP, he's just not able to take us down. Now, one thing, this is not faster than my Theodore team. The team with Theodore takes around 30 to 35 seconds on average. but we are getting a pretty good turn count. 22 turn count is not bad at all, actually. I think that's even enough to get your badge, if I'm not mistaken. I think you need 25 turns, right, on the dungeon to get a badge. Bang, getting the buff, Seer, Karma Burn, Melting. The rest are dying here. That's the whole idea of the team. Staltus sending back the poisons with the passive. He's applying more. He's increasing the duration with the A1, then detonating them. You see, increase the duration. Beautiful. So that's just going to be more helpful to detonate more, deal more damage on the boss, basically. There we go again. Beautiful. He's destroying the max HP here, but we don't really have any raw damage dealers again. It's not that type of a team where we're counting on raw damage dealers. This would be nice in Hydra to gain that additional damage, but for that he would need to bring HP burn as well, right? So you can use him like this. Now you can make different teams without having all of these champions in here, guys, to basically use him. If you need in the dragon, if you need him in the spider, you can play around with tons of different comps. There's so many different champions in the game right now that you can use Akemtum in the spider. In here, you can use even a bad L with him. And imagine the healing that you're going to gain back, right? But there are tons of different options. But we're going to try him in Arena. There are not many teams with Marichka, guys, on the test server. But I'm going to try to find one or two to kind of like give you guys the concept of what I meant. And seems like we have one right there with Taras. Now, that can be a bit of an issue for what I'm running right now. And that's mainly because I don't have him on Stone Skin, and the fear from Taras can mess us up. Now, for a team like this, we need Gizmak in. We would assume that Sifi is faster than all of my champions, right? That's how we're going into the fight, right? And because of it, we need that HP burn to instantly be applied rather than somebody else in my team to take a turn and apply it. But we're going to try that as well because I'm curious to see if a different champion activates the burn. Is his passive going to allow the other champion to deal damage through the block damage or not? So check this out. Hopefully we're not getting feared, right? Because Taras will put the fear on us, but hopefully it's not going to proc. So it seems like they are not in Stone Skin. This is something that's not happening very often. Usually you have Taras in Stone Skin, you have Marichka 100% in Stone Skin, and then the other champion most likely in Stone Skin as well. So if we're going to use this skill, hopefully we're not feared, we should be able to deal some damage, right? And that's because we're melting the HP burn and we're dealing damage through the block damage. If they were going to have Stone Skin, that one skill was going to melt the Stone Skin and make it disappear. And then you have a champion like Ramantu coming in play, which is going to strip the block damage and block the passives. So then your damage dealer can just go in and wipe them off, basically like that, right? So that's exactly what I was saying in the other video, guys, where I talked about the champion, and I think he can definitely shift a bit the meta and be part of the meta as an offense champion, okay? If we are going to find a different Marichka team, hopefully, I actually asked the guys on the test server to put a Marichka in, but nobody replied just yet. So we definitely do not have the best options. Now this is with a lockout, so it's not the best thing. I'm just not fast enough to probably deal with Sifi and the lockout. If it was just the lockout, let's just say we can outspeed it. But then he has a Thermitter booster in there as well, which most likely will change things. Now this one right here is a more powerful team. We are expecting to see a lot of Stone Skin in here. So let's see how this is going to play out. Are we able to wipe him or we're not? Stone Skin, HP burn, block damage, okay. So right now, we should be able to break that Stone Skin on Marichka and Taras. Check this out. You see, bang, no more Stone Skin. That's the power of burn. Now, one problem that I have right now is stripping that block damage. Marichka has Lightning Cage, so we might not strip the block damage from her, which can put us in a bad spot. Yeah, and we cannot lock the passive on her, unfortunately. Okay. There we go. There's a lot of protection in here, and that will be the best counter to him. Protection. Okay. I don't think we're going to deal enough damage because we haven't locked the passives. That Sifi literally procced proc that freaking protection on everybody. On everybody. Which is crazy, right? Okay, Gizmak won't be able to do much like this. Let's see, can we kill Taras? Beautiful. Extra turn. Let's kill Marichka if we can, or get close to it. Okay, Gizmak, come on, baby. Stay alive. Stay alive. Beautiful, beautiful. I don't have any burn right now, so I'm not dealing a lot of damage with Gizmak. And he's probably going to die. But what I'm gonna do right now, I'm gonna do this. 1, 2, beautiful. Extra turn. Taras coming back. And now we do this. Beautiful. Job done. Even though this was a way more powerful team than the previous one, and all of that protection in, we still managed to get the win. Now, it's not necessarily thanks to Stokk in here. It's mainly because we managed to kind of like wipe the rest. The whole idea is to speed farm this team. This was not the case, right? If we are going to find a different one, I know it was a different one that I fought before. This was the team that I was talking about. He has Stone Skin on everybody. I think I need an accuracy lead in here just for that Ramantu. Stone Skin, Stone Skin, Stone Skin on everybody. Beautiful, right? That's exactly what you want to see. And right now, we're just going to drop this in and melt that Stone Skin. A lot of people still don't know that this is a thing. If you apply HP Burn, if you have Incinerate as a blessing, and you activate the burn, you're going to melt the Stone Skin. Like, was not even there. Look at it. All that Stone Skin is done. Gone. Bye-bye. Now we're going to put in Ramantu. And see if he did not took a turn. Nothing happens. Everybody has the lock active passive skills. Now the HP burn will not deal damage to ignore the shield, right? So we haven't destroyed the enemy max HP. We're not going to deal additional damage. But what we can do in this case is basically just pray that no Swift Parry or any funky things will proc. Now, Gizmak right here survived because we got just weak hits. So he's probably going to clap us back. But it's just that concept of basically dropping that Stone Skin through block damage, okay? One thing that I really want to try as well, and I'm going to go versus this team, is basically, if I don't have Gizmak, if I'm bringing in Sulfurian. Let's see, where are you, Sulfurian? There we go. And I'm hoping that he has some gear. Now, I don't think he's in pinpoint, so that might be a bit of a problem. Let's go like this. It seems like I needed anyway that accuracy lead. Okay, see if he do not take a turn. Beautiful. Ooh, he's faster than my Sulfurian, but that's fine. So basically what I want to see with this team is if this passive will allow Sulfurian to ignore block damage when he detonates the burn, basically. So give me the turn meter, and let's see. Is the block damage just going to proc, or is it going to allow us to melt the stones? Ooh, it actually allows us as well to melt the Stone Skin. So you don't need Gizmak, basically. That's the whole idea. Now, the best thing after Gizmak is Sulfurian, which, yeah, Void Legendary is still hard to get. Still freaking hard to get. Okay, Swift Parry on Marichka, but we block Revive on Gizmak, so he's not going to be able to do nothing right now. And that's the benefit of having multiple lizards in the team, right? And let's take Marichka down slowly. Okay. There we go. Or at least we are trying. We cannot apply poisons through the immunity, of course. And extra turn, bang. So that's actually amazing that we can land, that we can break the Stone Skin even with Sulfurian, and his passive will allow us to do that. So that's pretty much everything for this video, guys. As I mentioned, I don't know if Stokk is going to be good for the new boss. I have no idea, okay? We need to see the new boss in action, try it out a little bit. There's so much information related to each one of the forms. We don't know the most important thing, and are we fighting all of the 3 forms at the same time? What's the whole mechanic behind that part, right? This is what you can do with the Fusion Champion. As I mentioned, you can do different teams that are more progression friendly. if you're missing Theodore, if you're missing different HP burn activators or poison detonators, he can be pretty nice progression-wise as well, right? It's not all about big whale teams and stuff like this, but he can work pretty nice in those. As usual, let me know your thoughts in the comments down below, guys. Much love, and I'll catch you all in the next one. Peace.